Chers amis cyclistes, la crise que traverse le monde avec le coronavirus nous amène tous les jours à prendre des décisions fortes et cette situation affecte le cyclisme.
The 2020 Summer Olympics, now the latest major sports cancellation caused by the global COVID-19 pandemic.
The inevitable has finally been confirmed. An Olympic Games in a few months is simply not viable.
The coronavirus is impacting sports teams and leagues around the world.
During this lockdown time, I've been mostly fine. My family is okay, and right now I'm just training inside and doing all my trainings at home.
I had a hard time, especially in the beginning after Drenthe, when Drenthe was cancelled, and we hear that actually the whole spring was gone. Yeah, for me that was really difficult. I directly didn't touch my bike anymore for 1 week and then a few days more. So for me, I took directly off and rest.
It all started when we went, I think, to Drenthe. That day was really crazy because in the morning I had a flight to Amsterdam and I had a bad feeling about traveling that day. I was like, no, this is not right. But I did it because the organization said, yeah, there will be a race, and also my team, they were already there, and yeah, it was supposed to be a race, but then when I arrived 30 minutes later they said no, it's all cancelled, and so I just had to swap around and take a flight back home to Oslo, and since then I've been in Oslo.
It does seem pretty peculiar just being at home. It's just kind of like the winter time when you're just kind of at home doing your base miles and training, but yeah, no racing, so it's pretty sad.
I'm actually quite good. I'm okay. I think it's strange for everybody, for all of us, and so I have to say I'm quite okay. I can do my training and ride my bike, so I can do this, and so I'm okay.
The restrictions are pretty tough at the moment. We can't leave our houses, and we can't go farther than 200 meters outside our door front. And then we can go outside only for doing the shops or for strictly necessary needs. I mean, if you have to go to the hospital, to the pharmacy, or I don't know, if you are still working, if you have to go to work, but then you have to fill in auto declaration that you are going there and coming back at a certain time.
All the schools are closed. And there's less public transport. The borders are closed, and yeah, you can go to Sweden if you want, but if you would then come back to the country, you have to be in a quarantine. So you should just stay inside of your country, and you're not allowed to sleep anywhere else than in your home. Like you cannot go to your holiday home or sleep somewhere else. You have to stay home. And we are not allowed to be more than 5 people together in one group. So if I go out for a ride, the maximum is 5 riders. But they say, please go mostly alone. So there's a lot of solo rides. Shops are open. Some restaurants are open. A lot is closed.
You can ride outside. Mostly alone, so I do a lot of solo rides. Sometimes I ride with my husband, but I think you can maximum ride with 3, but I never do that. And for the rest, the supermarkets are open and some other stores, but like horeca and cinemas and that kind of stuff is all closed. So it's not a total lockdown, it's more a social lockdown, and you have to walk around people for 1.5 meters. And as I can see, everyone is doing that. So it feels really funny on the bike that you make a big circle around people all day.
I can train outside. And since BIT, we can also train with another person that's not living in the same house. So that's nice, actually. And other than that, I mean, slowly but surely some shops are reopening, but everything's still pretty quiet. And now yeah, we will have to wear the face masks when we go shopping from next week. But things are slowly but getting a bit more open. Yeah.
So basically, the only people who are allowed to go to work are key workers. So NHS staff, delivery drivers, supermarket workers. Everyone else has to stay indoors but can go outside once a day for exercise. So I'm just so thankful that we're allowed to go outside, especially when the weather's so nice like today. Because in some countries like Italy, they are homebound and just have to do their training indoors, just completely self-isolating. So yeah, I do feel pretty lucky to be able to go out in this lovely weather.
Some cycling teams will suffer from this and with the sponsors and stuff. So if there could be some help there, of course it would be good, but I don't know how the situation is.
It is difficult because actually you don't leave the community. You don't see you only see your neighbor from the window, and you can't leave the community. You can't go into town and have a coffee or have a snack or an ice cream, because now it's even good weather, so you could have an ice cream. So it's you're not living a proper life, but this is what we have to do, and if it's necessary, it's necessary. We have to accept this and coping with this.
In the beginning, I was unhappy because I couldn't race. And later you figure out, okay, racing is really not important at the moment, so Chantal, stop. So you're already not happy, and then you watch the news you cannot avoid it. So sometimes for 3 times a day, and it makes you really sad. So we read the news and we watch the news, but not all day anymore, because it's really depressing.
Yeah, we are not allowed to ride bikes. We are not allowed to do outdoor sports or activities. And in the last 2-3 days, they are even outside with drones controlling people in some part of Italy, actually, not everywhere.
Most of us are taking it really seriously. Of course, I see also other people who don't care that much. But my feeling is that most of the people, at least in Oslo and the big cities, are taking this very seriously.
It's really hard, of course, but we have to be lucky because we don't have to sit whole day inside the house and in the garden. You are allowed to go somewhere. So I think we have to be lucky, and we are also still healthy, and my whole family is healthy and my friends are healthy. So yeah, I'm on the lucky side, but it can change very quick.
I think I'm very lucky because my family is all healthy, and I have a good team behind my shoulders. My team is always calling me, giving me advices, and I always have a good communication with my trainer, and I can also tell my sport directors or my trainer my feelings, and this is really, really, really good.
I don't do high intensity sessions right now because we still don't know when the season is going to restart, and when the point is really there where you have to be fit and you want to be fit. So I would say I'm maybe on a holding pattern, so trying to keep fit, but in a way that once I know when it's really matters and I have to be ready for racing, I can still work towards a new goal and a new peak.
At the moment, I'm training only indoor, especially on the rollers, and then I have to do some gym. I'm very lucky because I have a home gym, so I can do maybe in the morning the gym session, and in the afternoon the roller session, or only rollers, home trainers. As Trek Segafredo, we are doing some events on Zwift, so we are riding every Thursday and every Sunday, which is also really fun for us pro riders, because we are engaging with the amateurs, and we are chatting, and sometimes you have to do 3 hours on the home trainers, and the first 1.5 goes really fast.
Now I'm just thinking doing basic training again, pretend it's December turning the time back. And yeah, to keep me motivated, I do some blocks with more like distance training, and then I do more blocks with more intensity. And yeah, I try to spice it up a bit, like doing some blocks with my focus is sprints or hill efforts, or yeah, just to have some variation in training.
I'm basically treating this as winter training almost. So it's almost like this is like the off season, because it's just training, being at home with no races going on. So I've actually upped the volume a bit, which is just so easy to do in this lovely weather, but decrease the intensity, because I mean, if we're not going to be racing in 4 months, or like this can just change on a daily basis. But yeah, say it's 4 months, I don't need to be doing really intense race efforts now. That would just be too early.
I do once a week intensity training, sometimes twice, not too much, not too hard, because then you are quicker sick, and we don't want that. So yeah, I make my hours, but not so much training stress. Just to keep it going, and if we are allowed to race in a few months, maybe, then you can make it in a few weeks on a good level again. But for now, there's no need to be in a good shape or something. But yeah, you can also not stop.
Of course, once you know when the race are restarting, when the races are restarting, you have to be ready for suffering and for high intensity racing. So you have to put them in your training, of course. So in a way that we prepare for the season normally. And so right now I just try to not lose fitness and keep fitness at a good level, that I can work from there really to my peak and to being race ready.
Usually in the race season, or in off season even, you have those dates on the horizon, so you can think, right, it's 3 weeks until this race, I'm doing this training for this reason. But at the moment it is a bit kind of, I'm going out on my bike and I'm training for something which could happen in 4 months' time.
Being motivated, it's really important, and staying motivated, it's something that keeps me like alive. I still have the joy of riding my bike, even if on the rollers, and I still have the hope to start the season, and I want to be ready, I want to train every day and to be ready when the season will start. Hopefully it will start, but I don't want to just be sad and to sit down and to think how poor I am to be inside. I need to do something. We need to step up and to do something to keep ourselves up.
First of all, I realized my story is not different than someone else's story. It's difficult for everyone. So I'm complaining here about not racing, but at least I can do my job. I can go outside and ride. So I felt like I'm not allowed to say something and to complain. So that was for me a good motivation. And it's also nice to feel fit. I was in a really good shape. And if you don't touch your bike for 1.5 weeks, then you feel not as fit anymore as 2 weeks before. So that's not a nice feeling. So it was also motivation. I like to ride my bike.
The team is supporting us super well, and that's was very important for me, and friends and family, teammates. I think we support each other a lot, and we're there for each other in these times, and so we motivate each other, and I think that's a really cool way.
Like everyone handles it different, but I figured out I'm really bad with this. I like to have a target and do everything for that, make a plan and work through that. I cannot do that now. So it's hard. It's really hard. I try to find a goal every day, and or to finish a training, or to enjoy the ride, or to do my efforts, or something like that. But for the rest, you cannot make a long-term plan, which is hard and not nice. but yeah, I have to deal with it. So we keep going.
We've got a group WhatsApp chat, and actually at the start of the week we had a Zoom call, so everyone in the team kind of came together, all the riders, and yeah, it was just nice to catch up with everyone, hear their voices. Yeah, we try to kind of keep relatively positive. So yeah, that was nice to do.
We have some group chats that we see each other, and they have like a team meeting online, and we use Swift to have group rides, and we made a music video with all our sponsors that everyone did a small clip by themselves back home, and we put it together and made a nice video just to do something together.
Last Sunday we meet on Swift, and it was nice. We did a ride together, and we had headphones in, and with a different app we could call. So everyone was in that call, and that was actually really funny. And we said we're gonna do that every week, at least that we talk to each other and that we know that everyone is healthy, and also to motivate each other a little bit. Because yeah, you slowly start to miss your teammates, and yeah, we are all in the same situation and we understand each other. So it's nice to talk with each other.
With teammates, we keep in touch quite often. Luckily, there is technology, and there are many apps. There is Zoom where you can call and have a proper chat, a video chat, or WhatsApp. You know, it's full of apps right now, and luckily there are the smartphones.
It's so nice to see each other and to speak a bit and to be a bit normal, like, yeah, just interact with each other, even if they're not there. And it helped me a lot to talk with the team and see them, and not being like alone, because we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, first of all, I hope that everything gets stable again in the whole world. So, and that we don't start too quick.
I really hope that we can start racing again after summer. But I think we just have to look for the situation, how it's developing, and yeah. But I think maybe that we will have some races, maybe September, you know.
But I hope later in the year, maybe, yeah, on the end of like October or something, that there will be some races that you can finish the season with a bit of a nice feeling. Because I cannot imagine that we don't race at all this year. That must be so strange.
It's kind of an ever-changing picture, and it's hard to know what is happening in the foreseeable future. But yeah, I guess at this time you've just got to keep plodding along, keep pedaling, and see what happens.
Yeah, I still believe in races, so I hope we're gonna see races in maybe second half of this year, and yeah. I think we all don't know, and I'm known as always being so positive about things, and so I really think that there will be races, and I want to be ready once it starts again.
It's going to be different for sure. I imagine racing the Ronde with the 25 degrees and sun, and yeah, it's just different. Yeah, the conditions will be different, but I think the race is the same.
With no races in sight, it's sometimes hard to have a goal or to set your goal. But honestly, I had this thought, and it is simply to wake up every morning, to do my best on my trainer, and to keep trained and to keep ready, you know, because we never know when the season will start. And actually, I really want to be ready. So I told my trainer, let me work. I don't mind if the season will start or not. I don't mind when or where. Just keep me fit, because I really want to be fit and ready.
For sure, it's going to be interesting to start racing again, and I think everyone will be really eager to start. Like maybe it's an advantage, you know. I don't know, we now have different preparations because in Norway we are lucky, we can go outside and we can ride, but like in Italy you have to stay home and do all your training on the indoor trainer, and that will be really hard for some, I think. And of course, if that's gonna stay for a long time, then I will not say that the fitness will be worse, but maybe for the head, it's hard for the mental part. Yeah,
that's us. We want to race. That's what we do all the trainings for, and this is our big goals and everything. So, of course, that's the thing I'm missing. I'm missing the cycling family, the whole circus around it, and so hopefully it's soon gonna come back again.
As the season goes on, I think surely the countries where they can still train outside will be a little bit the favorites at the beginning, but then the hard work of the others indoor will for sure pay off, and after some races we will be all at the same level. I really hope the season starts, actually. That's the most concerning thought that I have at the moment. But we have to be positive and not thinking about too much negative stuff.
Definitely something that's going to come from this whole kind of world crisis is, I really think it is going to bring communities together, because, for example, in the UK, every Thursday at 8 p.m, we go outside and do the key worker clap. So we all go outside and applaud the key workers, and it just kind of feels like the neighbours and stuff are all uniting, because really we're all in the same boat. We're kind of all in this together, to quote High School Musical, and like everyone is like, oh hi, like talking to the neighbours, obviously keeping the 2 meters distance, but yeah, and there's in our village there are they're called Horsford helpers, and they kind of go around helping the old people, maybe doing some shopping for them, delivering their prescriptions and things. So people really are kind of coming together and uniting, and I think it is definitely going to bring communities together. So I think that is one positive to take